Hey guys, welcome into SideQuest Comics. This is Eric here, and I have another dollar diving video for you guys, but this one's a little bit different today. So today's dollar diving, thanks to some of the comments the last time I did a dollar dive, and the idea that I brought up in that last one, I thought of maybe focusing a little bit more on my pulls in the old dollar long box. Now, what I mean by that is that I mentioned this in the last video. I had an idea of, instead of randomly pulling 3 from the whole long box, maybe I focus just on the front or the middle or the back, because realistically, I kind of know what's there that it can make me kind of tailor the pulls towards a certain thing. Like all the Marvels are towards the back, DC's kind of there somewhere about in the middle, and in the front I have all these independent stuff. So I thought it'd be fun to do something like that once in a while, and kind of break it up, give us something new for you guys to look at, and of course, as always, talk about why did I get these dollar books from some dollar sales from different stores and cons and stuff like that. Because when I get them, I end up putting them in this long box. I have them in short boxes like underneath here, or over there, or even downstairs. I get them and I kind of stage them. I a lot of them, it's like I want to read them, so they get kind of put somewhere for the time being, sometimes forgot about, and then I was like, oh, I find these. So, and this one did just get filled up to the long box, so I got it kind of restocked with some new stuff, and it's just a fun way to show off some of the books in my collection. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing something a little bit different. I hope you guys like this, because it is very different. I know some people come to see the Marvel, the DC, the big guys, right? But you got to give the little guys some love. And I will say it right now. If it's an independent, most of the time it's going to be from the 80s for me. I am drawn to the 80s. That's when I was a kid and really first getting into comic books. So a lot of comics that kind of inspired me or had a big influence on me were from that decade. So without going too much longer into this, let's go ahead and go back here, and we will pick out 3 comics, you guys. So like I said, I am going to stick to the front. So I'm just going to grab right here. I want to grab 3 of them. So 1, 2, 3. It's still kind of tight. And just like that, we got 3 books. Let's go back over here, guys. So there we go. 3 books. So we will go ahead and we'll go down. Some of these I'm going to look real quick up to see when they came out. But we're going to go down and we'll go ahead and talk about these and why the heck did I get these? I mean, was it the art? Was it the storytelling? What was it? So let's go ahead and go down and we'll talk all about that. Okay, guys, 3 independent comics that I pulled from the dollar bin. And let's go ahead and start with this top one here. And this is Codename Strike Force by Spectrum Comics. Now, most of these comics, all of these comics come from the 80s, around the mid 80s. That was kind of the explosion of the independent comics. And that's part of the reason why I like these independent comics. It was, it was very raw. It wasn't as polished as, say, today, like Image and Dark Horse and stuff is. But this one is number 1. It came out, I did quickly look it up before we came down to the table, and it came out in 84, because this big old, all the blurbs here, the legal stuff, it actually did say the date on it. But this one, the art's not too bad. It does have a little bit of color. That's something that the independent comics you don't normally see is color. A lot of them usually are just black and white. Now, this color is a little off. I'm not sure exactly why, if it's kind of a weird printing process, but I thought the art in this was pretty good. It's one of the reasons I picked it up. Something different to check out. I'm trying to find a big splash page. Here's the team, actually. Kind of cool. Very different for an independent comic. Yeah, and this, not to be confused with the codenamed Strike Force that came out mid 90s by Image Comics. I think Silvestri has something to do with that. And but yeah, this I kind of tried to look up the name of the characters in this and compare them to that. No comparison. It's totally different thing. And actually, I think Image spells strike with a Y. So very different, but I thought this was a cool pickup. Now they in the back of this, they do boast, you know, in 30 days and #2, and they actually gave you like a next issue thing. I could not find this anywhere. I don't think they ever made it to print for #2. So this was basically a one and done. So like I said, kind of interesting to read. I thought the art was good. And like I said, it's only $1, so worth a fun read. Now, the second indie one I got is by a company called New York Comics, and I've never heard of this comic company. Once again, another mid 80s one, I believe. And this one right there, you can see it, 1986. I don't know why Strike Force didn't do that to make it easy, but yeah, the Protectors. Another one, not to be confused with the Protectors that Malibu did in the early 90s. Totally different thing. Um, and yeah, this was a two-issue series. They did actually make it to issue 2. When I looked it up in my CLZ app, they did have it listed in there. But this one, I kind of like that. It's got a little jokey type. Instead of the Watchmen, it's the Washmen. This one here, though, is totally very reminiscent of indie comics for me in the 80s. This one is black and white. It looks very home done. I mean, I don't want to sound negative by it because I did buy it still for the read, and it is a decent read. But man, look at that. It's got like the typewriter type all on the bottom. All the word bubbles look like they're hand done, which is, I mean, this is very independent. The artwork looks, like I said, I don't want to be negative. It's somebody's project, and I can appreciate that. So they put themselves out there and they created something. Not a lot of us can say that. So, and the biggest thing I think I can take away from this is just that it's a slice of time. This was the mid 80s. Oh, look at that. When you could do stuff like that and not have to worry about, the big guy, the big companies coming down and saying, hey, that's our property. You can't spoof that, or, that's too close to our idea. So, yeah, I like that this time period where they could take chances, try something different, different than what Marvel and DC were doing. So that is Protectors #1, only $1. Now, the last one, guys, is this one. If you guys have watched some of my videos or seen some of my posts on Instagram, you may have come across this one. Now, this one is very nostalgia and special to me personally. This is Samurai #1, Volume 1 by Aircell Publishing. This one I know right off the bat. It came out in 86. It's your classic, another one, black and white, line art, independent. And this one, why it's so nostalgic for me is this was one of those comics that in 86 really opened my eyes up to what comics could be, besides superheroes and supervillains. I mean, we did have Turtles just before this, another kind of eye-opener comic. But this one, what I thought was cool about this, and I always loved this black and white art for this series, was that they combined, martial arts, action, sci-fi. It has a little bit of anime, if you guys noticed in there. And this is a comic that if I see it, I'm going to buy it. Regardless of how many I have, this is my comic that I will buy a lot. I think I have at least 3 or 4 copies of this. This one I think I found in a dollar bin, so that's why I threw it in the dollar bin. I figured, it'd be worth talking about. I do have this whole series too, and I think there was 2 other volumes for this that they went kind of into the 90s, but then I think the story ideas kind of petered out. the first volume was the best one. That was kind of at the start of Aircell. They did some other series that were pretty good, similar to this, taking chances and, you know, telling good stories. That's what it was about. And also, you know, realistically, you can say this to all these independents. It's about having fun. Just read it and have fun. Don't take it seriously. You don't have to worry about, you know, what the message is or what the characters are doing. I mean, it was a time period that it was a lot of fun. So that is the third pick for the Dollar Dive Indie Dollar Dives. Let's go ahead and we'll go up and we'll close out this Dollar Dive. Well, there you go, guys. There is $3 dives, independent dollar dives for today's video. Let me know down below what you guys thought of these pulls. Did you like code name Strike Force? Not to be confused with the image Strike Force. Was it the Protectors? Also, not to be confused with Malibu's The Protectors. And then finally, one of my favorite indie comics that I will buy whenever I see it, if it's a decent price, that is. But whenever I see it, this is one of those books that I will buy, hands down. It's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, Samurai, Volume 1, Number 1 from Aircell. Very cool. Indie black and whites. Well, one of them was color, but let me know down below, you guys, what you thought of these. Do you guys have a favorite indie comic that you know, see a lot that you like getting or reading from way back then? Like I said, a lot of these indies are nostalgic for me, especially this one. And I hope by going through these, you guys, you see why you can't really kind of discount these, because they are just fun books, right? It's all about having fun. And for $1, you're not really losing a lot. You know, you can read it and find some enjoyment out of it. Like I said, some of them are a little rougher than others, but you know what? You got to give it to these creators for putting themselves out there and trying something, especially in the 80s. This independent comics were very fresh and new in the 80s. They're not as polished as they are nowadays with like Dark Horse and Image. So you got to love them for just that. But along with the comments down below, if you guys could please give me a thumbs up, like, and if you could subscribe to the channel. If you like seeing this kind of content, let me know by doing that. And while you're at it, head over to Instagram, give me a follow, like some of the posts there. I'm usually doing daily posts of different themes on my account there. But that is all I got for you guys today for this very new, very special dollar dive, you guys. This is the Indie Dollar Dive. I hope you guys liked it, kind of themed this way to show off some of the independent dollar comics that I get, just to kind of tailor it all towards the indie comics that I find in the dollar bins. Like I said, let me know down below. But until next time, guys, while you're out there dollar diving, happy questing, and we'll talk to you next time.